Now, if you haven't gone through my free classes on SEO or keyword research, which are the equivalent of paid courses, but they're here for you free on YouTube, you can get links to those down in the description below. But right now I want to jump on and get into this presentation so you can understand keyword search intent. So this is really the long-term key idea, and I think it's number one idea because it really boosts the on-site engagement and the time on-site numbers, which is one of the key factors that Google and YouTube both are watching to see, are you delivering on that promise? When you create a piece of content around a keyword phrase, you're essentially making a promise to both Google and to the user who clicks through that you're going to deliver on that which you kind of built the content around. And if you're running rubbish content mill copy that's just kind of really terrible copy, it doesn't go deep, it doesn't give anything other than finding ways to stuff that keyword phrase in, Google wants to eliminate you because you're operating similar to search engine spam. So this type of content that is aware of their search intent and that meets them at that point is your way of showing that you get them, right? We've talked about this on the channel a lot. Every visitor, every YouTube searcher, every Google searcher is thinking, what's in it for me? When they land on your website, that's the first thought they have is what's in it for me? And then if they don't feel like you're meeting them where they're at, where their intent was behind that search, they're going to click back, they're going to go to someone else, and Google will drop you in the rankings for that high bounce rate. This also helps you stand out from the search engine spam. A lot of people think the game of SEO is to go buy a bunch of 500-word articles, stuff your keywords in there, have them written in the Philippines. It doesn't matter the quality, and ultimately that'll rank and that'll win. But users, real humans that search, that eventually will land on your site, when they look at that type of content, they're like, this is horrible. But when your content reflects that you understand what they're searching for and you deliver on that which you promised through the headline, the title, the description, you're going to get a lot better metrics. And it ultimately builds trust. And trust is the number one thing that separates those who are crushing it online and those who are failing online. Those who build the most trust win. And this is one of the key ways to build trust from a cold traffic visitor who enters through the search engines. So what are the four types of keyword search intent? Well, there's information, there's consideration, there's transaction, and there's location. We're going to break down each and every one of these further in further slides, and then I'm going to give you examples of how they all work together. But really, every search can pretty much be categorized into these four things. Information, they're just looking for information, how-to stuff. Consideration, they're thinking about getting a product or they're thinking about taking a specific action, but they're looking to reinforce their ideas, so it's a different type of search behavior. Transactions, they're ready to buy. They're ready to buy a service, they're ready to buy a product. They might be ready to opt in for something. They might be ready to exchange their email address at that level. And then there's the location ones, right? When you're looking for that local restaurant, that's a location-based search. If you need a locksmith because you've locked yourself out of the car, that's also going to be a location-based search. And again, they're treated differently from the user's end. So you as a business owner, an online business owner, you need to have different types of content to match each user where they are. If you're familiar with Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising, he talks in that book a very revolutionary idea that a lot of current fake gurus just regurgitate this main idea, and that is of the prospect's level of awareness. Now, they don't fit perfectly together. There's definitely some overlap, but when someone's looking for just basic information, they're closer to the unaware side of the spectrum. When they're in the consideration phase, they're generally problem aware and or solution aware. They're searching for information around how to solve a problem, or they're searching for information around, is my idea of the solution the right one for me? Then on the transaction level, they're product aware or they're deal aware. They know exactly what product they want, and maybe they're looking for the best deal on that product. So that gives you a little bit in the mindset of the searcher themselves. Then on the location, I mean, if you're locked out of your car and you need a locksmith to show up to get you out, you are literally the most aware. You know exactly where you are, you know exactly what you need, and you're really just looking for someone who will show up fast in that situation. So let's dig in one by one to each of these different kind of search intent levels. The informational search intent, these are the kind of highest end of your funnel, the very top of your funnel, that moment where you're able to obtain the awareness of a new visitor through a specific blog post or video that you have. So videos and posts that are about how to blank, signs of blank, what is blank? Who was blank? You notice we're pretty close to the who, what, where, why, how type thing, except not where, because that's the location one. When did blank happen? The history of blank, where did blank start, or different ways to boom, right? That last thing could be solve a problem, to analyze something, etc., etc. So a lot of marketers, affiliate marketers, digital marketers leveraging content online to grow their authority of their website, they focus a lot on this level of content. And this is meeting potentially the least aware individuals, but it's giving you a lot of reach. And when someone visits your website, you're able to place that retargeting pixel. When they read your how-to article on whatever your niche is about, whether it's how to lose weight, how to lose 10 pounds in 14 days, right? They read that article, they've now taken a step in your direction. You have the ability to show them your opt-in, your content upgrade, your pop-ups, and then you can also retarget them once they go over to Facebook. So a lot of marketers will use lots and lots of this kind of how-to level, informational level content. It positions the marketer and the content creator as one of the experts in the field. It gives you good domain authority because you eventually build up lots and lots of great content. This is the type of content that attracts backlinks because it's very shareable. It's not all that promotional, but you'll want to balance on your website how much of this informational search intent and then also the next levels as well. So it's good to play a little bit of each of these into your strategy. So the next one is the considerational search intent. So when someone is beyond the how-to, they understand how to do what they want to do. They know either the problem that they're trying to solve or the solution that they're seeking out, and they're wondering which approach is the right approach for them. So they might be searching for a top 10 list, right? So let's say somebody realizes that green smoothies are what's missing from their life. As I'm recording this, it's New Year's Eve, so happy New Year's to you. And they're ready to make their New Year's resolution. They're going to do a 30-day juice cleanse. That's even better, right? So now they know they're going to do a juicer. Well, what kind of juicer do they do? Are they going to do a centrifugal juicer, which is a high-speed one? Are they going to do a masticating juicer, which is a low-speed one that'll get cold-pressed juices? So this is that considerational, right? They know the result they want. They want to do a juice cleanse. They want to do a 10-day, 30-day juice thing. So which one are they going to choose at this point? They maybe already read your how to do a juice cleanse, but now they're looking for the actual device to make their juice. So top 10 juicers would be something they could search. The best juicers or best juicers for blank, whatever their particular situation is, juicer comparisons, juicer reviews, right? So they're looking for the types of content where experts in the world of juicing, for this random example that I've chosen, have taken the time to go research all of the different options, and they're hoping to find someone who says, this is the one you want. This is the best one for all of these other reasons. If you want the cheap one, it's over here. If you want this one over here, but really this is the best, or on the top 10 list, this one is number one. The blank or blank for blank. So we're getting a little abstract here. It's the like the centrifugal juicer or cold pressed juicer for a juice cleanse type phrase. That's a little long. That might be a little abstract in this situation. They might be looking at category searches in this level, which would just be flat out juicers. They don't even know what the different types are. They're looking for the whole kind of kit and caboodle understanding of what all of them are. They might be searching. Oh, so another example of that was the home gym for blank, right? Home gym for 50-year-old guys. They might be looking for one piece of apparatus. They don't know whether the Bowflex or the Atlas machine, which machine is actually best for them. Or they might be searching for electric bikes. They don't really know anything about them. They know they can't pedal as much as they did. They want an electric bike, and they're just kind of like, what are all the different electric bike options, versus searching for a full suspension electric mountain bike, right? So that's how the levels work, which gets us to the next one. And that last example I did of the full suspension electric, that's getting into the transactional search intent. That individual knows which one they want, right? They've now made the decision. They've shifted from, yeah, I'm kind of interested in this electric bike thing. I did my how do they work, right? How do electric bikes work? Are electric bikes legal? They've done all that how-to informational searching. Then they get to that next level that we just talked about, where they understand that electric bikes are really, they understand the different categories. Once they know which one they want, we're getting into that transactional search intent. This is getting into what I would call the money keyword phrases, right? So if you run a drop shipping store that's based around electric bikes, these are really your money phrases. But sometimes you need to have lots of how-to and lots of informational content that links to these in an SEO silo structure. Now, I'll have the video for the link for my SEO silo video pop up above, and you click on the link, it'll open it in a new tab. It'll be right there in the window. The idea of an SEO silo is a way to structure your content. And ultimately, these transactional search posts or pages on your site will be the top of your silo, and all of those informational level, the first level we talked about, all of those posts will link up to this from a sub-silo standpoint. So it's a way to organize this type of content to get the most SEO value. Again, that video will also be in the description below. SEO silo is what that's called. I got a couple of videos that explain exactly how to do that. Back to the transactional search intent idea. Where to buy an electric bike is one of those types of questions, right? Best deal for blank is another type of question. Coupon for blank. Discount is another way people often search that, right? They're searching for a discount, or free shipping on blank. That would be, you know, the home gym idea. Someone who knows they're buying a 250-pound piece of apparatus with a bunch of weights. They might be concerned about the cost of shipping. So maybe free shipping on, boom, that thing that they're searching for would be that type of keyword phrase. So the transactional search intent are the ones that everyone wants to ultimately rank for, but you have to have good authority on your website to really do that. So you create lots of how-to content, you do outreach, and you get the backlinks, and you really grow your authority for your whole website through that how-to content. Then you link and move that value that you've gained in the SEO value in the eyes of the search engines from those how-to contents, you flow it to these transactional pieces on your site, the posts and the pages, through an internal linking structure that is called an SEO silo. That's the big idea, man. That's $1 million idea, literally right there. That's what the best of the best of the best in the world are doing. A lot of people are missing out on that. Finally, there's the location-based search intent. There's service types. I gave the locksmith example. Plumbers are another one I use, right? If your water heater explodes, you just want a plumber who's really close so they can get there in 5 seconds. People use Google to actually search for URLs. I can see in my search data that a lot of people go to Google and type in milesbeckler.com, and they actually search for my web address in Google itself, or they'll search for Miles Beckler YouTube. They're actually searching for my YouTube channel link, but they actually go to the Google search engine to search for that. So people will actually use Google as a search phrase. So you got to be aware of that, right? Sometimes you're looking at a keyword phrase like Facebook Ads Manager. You might think that all that search volume is, wow, that's a huge keyword phrase. There's so many people searching for that, but it's actually how a lot of people just enter the ad manager. They've just habituated the process that I'm ready to go work on my ads. So they go to Google, they type in Facebook Ads Manager, and they just want to go into the Facebook Ads Manager. So the search intent behind that search is of the utmost importance. You don't want to waste your time looking for the wrong search intent. My content team, Josh, my core content guy who does a lot of my keyword research and helps me get these videos into blog posts, he found one keyword phrase that he was all kinds of excited about, and the numbers at face value looked really, really good. And then I just Googled it. I just popped that same keyword phrase in to see what is that? It was a very large brand. It was a huge brand. So the brand owned that keyword search phrase, and everyone searching for that phrase, although it looked relevant to what I was talking about, they were actually searching for that specific brand and that specific company. And I had no need or desire to rank for a phrase that's all around that company. And these are the kinds of things you learn about. And when you focus your efforts in your SEO and your content marketing strategy on those phrases that have the right type of intent, that's in alignment with your products, with your services, with your funnel, with what your users ultimately want, the problems and solutions they're after, everything starts to work. So many people think that the world of SEO is a mathematical equation, kind of, you can just a linear thing, right? You find the keyword, you create the content, you publish it, do it again and again and again. But if you forget to think about what does that user want, all kinds of problems are coming your way. That's when you miss out on the biggest, most important thing of remembering that it's a human on the other side of that Google search result, searching to solve their problems, buy things, get things, etc. Finally, product search, location-based product searches, right? Vegan Chinese food would be, if somebody's in Manhattan, they're searching for vegan Chinese food, who shows up? They're looking to go somewhere. They're probably looking within a mile or 2 radius or 5, if they're gonna hop in a taxi or an Uber type thing. So that's another way that location-based search works. So here's an example. We're going to run through all of the different search intents around a specific product and how it works. So for the first level, the information, they're searching how to clean dog hair from carpet, right? So they have a problem. They have a dog sheds, the hair gets in the carpet. They're tired of having the dog hair in the carpet, and their current vacuum cleaner flat out doesn't work. Maybe they just replace their carpets. Maybe they just have their carpets cleaned. I don't exactly know what the triggering event is that gets them to search. Maybe the belt broke in their vacuum and they're like, that's it, last time. But at this moment, they're starting the journey online of figuring out what's that next vacuum cleaner I'm going to buy. So they start with the information level and they're like, you know what? My Malamute sheds like crazy. I'm just going to get the absolute best in the world vacuum for removing pet hair. They're like, I don't care if it costs me $300 to $500. I'm going to get the best of the best because I'm tired of this pet hair problem in my house. So if you are running an online vacuum store, this is potentially an extremely valuable person. And if all of your content effort has gone only to the product pages and you're not meeting them at the informational stages, you're missing this opportunity to connect someone who just had a triggering event, something that some catalyst of change that's got them ready to take action in their lives. So the second set of keyword phrases, or the second intent that individual might focus on, is best vacuum cleaner for pet hair, right? So when they search for the best, they might be looking for a list of the top ones so they can go do more research, or they might be looking for the absolute vacuum cleaner expert, someone who's honest, with integrity, and trustworthy, who's done all of the research and reviews and done videos on each of them. They can go to one post and they can look at actual videos of the 10 best vacuums actually cleaning up pet hair, so they can see in a video process which one wins right there on one post. Aha, this person's getting closer and closer to knowing the one that they want. What's the best deal? Well, the Dyson Animal 2 may very well be the number one. So when they know, let's say they've gone through the best vacuum cleaner post or videos, and they've seen enough videos and they've read enough posts because they're doing their due diligence, they're about to drop $300, $500. They're like, okay, Dyson Animal 2, that's my machine. So they search for best deal on a Dyson Animal 2. Who shows up in number one for that phrase? It's probably different than who shows up for Dyson Animal 2, and it's probably different for coupon for Dyson Animal 2, right? These are all individual keyword phrases. They all have different search volumes. They all have different competition, and they have similar search intent. So you find that phrase that they're actually searching, and you could have a post that specifically focus on that. This is something that an affiliate marketer would do really, really well. You can actually walk an individual through all three of these different kind of search intent steps on one site, if you will. They can meet you at the informational search. Your next post could lead them to the considerational post. Your next post could lead them to the actual best deal where you have a price comparison widget. And then when they click to go get it, you're actually planting your affiliate cookie, and that's how you can earn your income. Finally is the location search. They might just want to go search for the Dyson dealer. They might want to go get hands-on with it. They might want to go talk to a salesperson because they just feel they get a little bit more for their money when they take time. They might be retired. They might be open to go spend 2 or 3 hours hanging out, really testing things hands-on, kind of to do another level of hands-on due diligence beyond simply clicking and buying online. There's a lot of us, like myself, who will just click and buy online when my mind's made up, name brand. I know that this is the best in the world and that's what I want. I'm just going to click it and buy it and get it delivered to me here. Other people operate a little bit different. So that's where the Dyson dealer, the local Dyson dealer would show up. And notice someone searching for a Dyson dealer is probably not going to put their city name in. They just search, and Google knows. Google's looking at their IP address. And if you're a small business owner, this is so important for you. You really need to make sure you go to google.com/business. It's the Google My Business platform. You verify your website, you verify your address. They mail you a postcard, and then you actually plug in, you log back in. The postcard has a 4-digit number. You plug in your 4-digit number. That's how Google really verifies that you do have a physical location. So when a user with an IP address from their cell phone, because everybody searches on their cell phones now, is within 2 or 3 miles from you, and they search for Dyson dealer, and you've verified your website, and you actually are an authorized Dyson dealer, and you went through the google.com/business, Google My Business platform to verify yourself, Google's going to connect the dots, and you're going to show up number one on that map in that situation, because Google knows the search intent is to find you. They want to go to your store. So take that time if you're a local business and you have a physical location to fill out the Google My Business system. It's well worth the effort there. Now, I'm going to call this a goofy example, and I'm using this one to try to show you how sometimes searchers, individuals using search engines, are lazy, and how one phrase can potentially get multiple different types of search intent at the same time. Also, I think it's going to be really clear how you could add a couple of words to this core phrase, right? This is what a lot of people find when they do keyword research. They're like, okay, here's my core phrase. That's it. But you got to remember there's hundreds, if not thousands, of long tail variations of the keyword phrase that will all go into the different categories of the different levels within this. So in the informational level, somebody's like vegan sourdough. Like, is that even a thing, right? They have this idea, they hear about it, they heard random people in line at the grocery store talking about vegan sourdough, and they're like, wow, is that even a thing? So they just search vegan sourdough to see if it's even a thing, right? The second level is consideration. Is like, they're like, is it any good? Like, what kind of, like, do people like this stuff? Like, then, or how do I make it would be, right? How do I make a starter in that situation? Now I'm adding on all of these little keyword phrases that you would eventually add on to your content. But at the transactional level, like if somebody's wanting to buy a loaf of vegan sourdough from Thrive Market or from Amazon, and they want to just click and buy, and they want it to show up to their house, they might just type in vegan sourdough, and they're ready to buy it at that point in time. And then location, they might be looking for a local bakery. They want a nice slice of toasted vegan sourdough with smashed avocado on it, and they just search vegan sourdough, and they're expecting to see a local bakery with vegan options show up on their map. Now, this is, again, I'm being a tiny bit ridiculous with this example, but I want you to understand that it takes a lot. You actually have to think behind the words, behind what they're searching, to really understand the intent. Obviously, we can extrapolate that most people wondering if vegan sourdough is a real thing would type, is vegan sourdough a real thing, right? That would be their search phrase. Or if they're considering it, like, is vegan sourdough any good, would be the phrase that they would search. The transaction, where can I buy vegan sourdough? Or they might be searching for vegan sourdough starter is something they might want to buy, because you gotta, like, the yeast, gotta let it rise, blah, blah, blah. It's a living thing. Anyways, side note. And then the location, like vegan sourdough, or they might even go vegan bakery, but vegan sourdough bakery might be something, or vegan sourdough, coffee could be another thing they search. So there's a lot of ways this works out, but ultimately you need to be aware of the search intent, and you really need to become a master of keyword search intent, not just keyword research, but the intention behind the search is everything. Because users who, when you match, let me kind of change this a little bit. When you match their search intent correctly and you get it right, and their intention is to learn the top 10 juicers, cold pressed juicers for a juice cleanse, and you just nail that content, and you know that they're about cold pressed juice cleanses, you kind of know where they're at in their lives, and you're speaking to that, and you use the right language patterns that tunes into their WIIFM, because they're thinking, what's in it for me? And your content saying, this is what's in it for you. They're like, I'm in the right place. So this means they're going to spend more time on your site. They're going to click through more links. You're going to have a lower bounce rate. Google's observing all of these types of metrics of, once that user clicks through, they're watching how the user interacts with your content. And if they're on your site for 4 seconds, they click back, Google's like, this person does not deserve the attention of more Google users. Versus if they read 4 pages, they spend 9 minutes on your site, Google's going to think, wow, this website, they're doing something right, because they're giving the user a really good user experience, because that user experience is how Google sells more advertising, right? So you ultimately will also build trust more quickly. When you meet me at that point that I'm searching, and you give me great content, detailed content, I'm telling you, none of this like, I just bought it off some writer on Upwork, I got 1 penny a word type content, I'm buying it from the content mill, I'm just hoping this works. People feel that, right? These are real human beings who are reading the content, and if the content sucks, like, I don't trust you. Like, I see it all the time, and it's possible to rank rubbish content. You got to understand that is possible, and that's not really a hack, because ultimately you need a human being to read said content and be ready to take action at some point. And if your content sucks, there's no way you're gonna have any trust, and if you have no trust, they're not gonna take action. They're not gonna click onto a second page. They're not going to opt in for your free report. They're not going to take your recommendations, click through your affiliate links. They're not going to buy your things, because you didn't take time to meet them where they're at and create great content. So you really do, yes, you can rank rubbish content, but you need to have great content, because that's what users want. So you build that trust with them, and trust is everything. And then your recommendations are better received, right? That's ultimately when they're like, wow, this person gets me. They get the whole world of juicers. They've obviously done their research. They are clearly the expert. Cool. I don't need to spend 3 days or 7 days to figure out every which one. I'm just going to take their recommendation. I'm going to click, I'm going to buy, I'm going to move on. Because one of the big questions is, what's your time worth, right? Like, what's my time? I know what my time's worth. I know what a day is worth in the life of Miles Beckler, right? When I miss a day because I'm flying to another country, this, that, the other, that's thousands of dollars that I'm literally missing out on. So I have a really good idea of what my time is worth, and everybody's got a different number. Your time might be worth $20 an hour, $50 an hour, $250 an hour, $1,000 an hour, whatever it is. But when you consider how much time is it going to take you to do all of that research to figure out which vacuum cleaner has the absolute best best pet hair removal system, and you just search and you find somebody who looks trustworthy. They clearly run a vacuum store. They've got the online stuff going. They got the information stuff going. They've got tons and tons of videos, and they're able to just watch for 20, 30 minutes and just understand that you, as the expert, 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, think that this is the Dyson Animal 2 or whatever it was, right? That's the best of the best. There's a lot of people in our world who they value their time so much, they're just going to click buy, boom, they're done. And if you own that store, great. You just made a sale because you put out how-to content that met that user where they're at. If you're the affiliate who's doing like the ultimate vacuum kind of review website ever, moderncastle.com, shout out to that dude. Great example of someone who is just crushing it with a review-based website that meets people at these levels of these types of questions and then links them over through affiliate links to the actual offers where they can obtain it. It just makes business work. You know, I think there's just too many people who think that the game of internet marketing is something that's schemable, it's gameable, and I can just buy really cheap content over here, and if I publish my content and then I do all this fancy trickery, then I'll rank. But you're working with humans at some point, and right? And you really got to realize that those humans have goals, they have desires, they've got a limited budget. They're like you and me, right? And you don't want to be scammed out of something. When you're looking for the best this, that, or the other to purchase, you want to find an honest person who's filled with integrity, who knows their shit, so they can help you get the right thing. And the faster you can get in and out and on to the next thing in life, the better off you are. So give that experience to your clients too. That's really the big key. And take some time to think about what is the user's search intent behind that keyword phrase before you create your content. If you have no clue what that is, just start on Google. Go Google the phrase, see what comes up, see what's currently ranking, look around, like survey the landscape of this area that you're about to try to move into so you can really truly create the absolute best piece of content on that topic for that keyword phrase that matches that user's search intent in a way that's going to position you as the leader, position you as the trusted advisor, right? It's going to build that trust, and it's going to get them more interested to click on your recommendations, to go into your list, go into your funnel, etc., etc. I think I beat this one to death, but it's super duper important. Thank you very much for your time. I'm going to have the SEO video pop up here on the end screen. If you haven't been through my free course, the 7 steps how I went from side hustle to $1 million business online, it's a free course. Click on the book to get that. All the links are in the description. I appreciate you. Happy New Year. Even if you see this after the New Year, I hope the next 365 days of your life are absolutely epic. Every day better and better in every little way. Thanks again for your time. I'm gonna call it engage, subscribe, like, thumbs up, do what you do. Thanks again. Be well. Catch you soon.